Hello everybody, welcome. I am Pete Renzulli from T3 Live, where our goal is to help you, guide you along the path to trading and investing mastery. We help you accomplish your goals through training, coaching, and an exclusive mentoring programs. Today I'm very excited and proud to announce the launch of our Active Investor Coaching Program. We'd like to take this opportunity to tell you a little about our upcoming introductory seminar. With me today in the T3 studio is Jordan Kimmel and Mario Carias. Now, Jordan, what exactly do you do for your coaching clients, and what can they expect to get out of the upcoming seminar that we're having?
Well, you know, Pete, that when trading or investing, and I'm talking about the investing side, it takes years and years of really homework and what we call tuition to the market. What I think I can do for the group that coming in here is really help them get a leg up and kind of take a few years off that learning pattern. I don't want to take the approach that, hey, this is easy to do, but we will show you exactly how to use the magnet stock selection process, then line that up with the right charts, and then execute a game plan and stay on point. That's really what I'll be doing for us.
Mario, when your clients contact you, what would you say are the results that they're trying to achieve?
I think the clients are trying to look for a process, a structured way of actually looking at their investment portfolio. What we bring to the table is our experiences, both in screening stocks, looking for good ideas. What I bring to the table as well is the ability to actually tell you how institutional investors are looking at ideas and how they're valuing their ideas. I think that's something that is beneficial to a lot of clientele out there.
Okay, great. Jordan, I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
You have your book, which is a very, very well-written book. Why does a client need more than just book knowledge? And what do you bring besides just book knowledge that your coaching clients are very happy that you bring to the table?
Well, let's talk about the whole path to becoming a great investor. And it starts with reading. You maybe progress on to the day trading. But the whole key is no matter what happens with an investor, a lot of times they're going to get off plan. And it's really both of my books, in fact, talk about using every tool in the book to actually control your emotions. So I think that a lot changes from being on the sidelines to when you get in the game. The coaching that I'm looking to bring actually is going to bring the client all along from the process to the on-ramp to where they actually start making some real money.
Good, that makes sense. Now, Mario, a question for you is a kind of a follow-up to what Jordan just said. We're obviously going to have an open Q&A when we do the seminar. What are some of the obstacles that your clients will face who have either not done this before or have not done it successfully that you can walk them through in the coaching program?
Well, I think in terms of the obstacles, the word obstacle is an interesting one, and I think the biggest obstacle people have is themselves, really. They either think, as Jordan was mentioning before, they think it's too easy to make money, or they're looking for an easy way to make money in the markets, or they believe that it's too difficult to make money in the markets. The reality is that somewhere in between. I think Benjamin Graham basically said one day that investing is how long you actually put time into the work, into the process itself, not how long you actually hold on to your positions. I think that's one of the things that we're going to be bringing to the table is giving you the process to get away from that obstacle that in many ways sometimes is the person in the mirror.
I agree, absolutely. I think something that's very important that most of the coaching clients is really pull out is that the education is not a one-time event. It has to be continuing education with somebody who's further down the road than you and wants to walk you along that path. It's very, very important to realize a weekend seminar is not going to become mastery, and that's where the coaching comes in and ultimately the mentorship programs. I guess it's something that's very good to develop a little bit of connection with everybody who's going to be at the seminar. Jordan, tell us a little bit about the struggle to get to the point where you're at now, where you have the confidence and the road that you took to get to where you are now.
Well, you know, it's frankly, it's years of mistakes, and anybody who thinks that they're going to just learn something and be an expert at it is fooling themselves and fooling everyone around them. I think the whole key is you have to make a number of mistakes. I could admit I may have made every mistake possible by this point, maybe even twice. The whole key is trying to make sure you don't continue to repeat a process. And, you know, in the market, it will always rhyme. It's not an exact thing. So again, we've been doing a great job for years with just the pure technical side of the market, but bringing in the fundamentals, helping you to understand really what you're buying, and then to make sure also that you could check your ego at the door and remember that not every trade's going to work out. We're going to learn from our winners. We're going to learn from our losers, and just like the game of chess, like I talked about in the book, you get better and better, and then you start to really gain your confidence. You take bigger positions without the fear that am I right or am I wrong, and that's really when you begin to have the confidence you need as an investor.
Something you mentioned I'd like to throw at Mario a little bit is you mentioned learning from your winners and your losers.
Right.
Mario, in your experience in your coaching and also your teaching experience, would you say that your students learn more from their winners or their losers?
Oh, definitely. I think the losers bring out a lot of the emotional part of the investment process or the trading process, and I think you learn a lot more from the losers. Now, the idea is not to think of losers as losers from that point of view, even though they might have lost you some money on it. You have to learn from both of them, and just because your idea didn't work out from the point of view of making money, I think you have to learn from that. So just because the idea didn't make money, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad idea.
I agree. Well, one of the things that we teach is a trading loss, if you did what you were supposed to do, is a business expense. No different than a desk or anything. It costs money to make money. And treated correctly, which is I know you guys teach a lot in the coaching program, it's a expense to run your trading business. So in this case, your investing business.
Right, Pete, let me even catch up on that. In today's Investors Business Daily, there's an article today about coaching. And every profession, whether you're Tiger Woods or whether you're Federer, they have swing coaches. Think about that. So the most successful people understand sometimes it's so easy to get off center by being able to review the tape, look at yourself, review the trade with an unemotional, experienced coach really just brings you so far along your own game.
Jordan, what are some of the common myths in today's investing community?
Right, well, I'm sorry to say, Pete, the myth that bothers me the most is, hey, this is easy, and hey, everyone can do it, and it really only takes a half hour a week or half hour a day. You know what, it's just harder, I think, than almost anything because it's a matter not only of applying tools, it's a matter of this market changes so fast, this market actually releases information to get you to do the wrong thing almost. So I believe that the myth that bothers me the most is everyone can do this, and I remind everyone, if this was so easy, they would only make S500 Mercedes and above. This is a hard business, but it's a kind of business if you put the work, your intellect, your blood, sweat, and tears, and a couple learning from your mistakes, this is how to acquire real wealth on your terms.
Mario, from that myth that Jordan's very passionate about, which I agree with, why do you think coaching makes it easier to learn or makes the process more manageable?
Well, I think one thing we already touched on is the learning curve. I mean, everybody's going to have a learning curve, no matter how, what age group they're in, no matter how educated the person is. They need to get their feet in the game. They need to get muddied up a bit. What we bring is our experience to the coaching process, and that in itself increases your learning curve. We teach you our mistakes. As Jordan mentioned before, I've done a lot of mistakes as well. I think one of the obstacles that a lot of people have is change their time frames a bit. I went from a longer-term investment to shorter-term investment, same charts, same companies, different animal. And I think that's one of the things that our experiences basically tell you that. Take a plan, get a plan, stick to the plan.
Now, Jordan, actually, you following up on something Mario just said, one of the common comments, for lack of a better way of putting it, that we get is, why would I pay for education or coaching? Mario just touched on his students and your students learning from your mistakes. Can you put a dollar value on what they get from learning from the mistakes you've already made compared to what the coaching program tuition cost?
Well, Mario, let me share. I've been at this, Pete, 25 years already. Just the other year, I went up to Michael Steinhardt's desk. I sit down with Jimmy Rogers. I sit down and I have access to them. A lot of the television work I've done has done this. I personally today would love to sit down with other top traders out there. I'm still learning. I want to point this out. I am still learning. I think that when you stop learning, you start going backwards. So basically, I would fly all over. I've been to William O'Neill's office to see him when he asked to see me. I personally continue to look for coaches, and I continue to use coaches myself. I want to point out that I'll take the approach of Tiger Woods. I may have some nice things behind me. I want to continue to get better, but I'm pretty far on that curve. I want to go further. I can help people get to at least where I am, and then maybe even they can help me push myself further, frankly.
Mario, what are some of the steps that somebody should go through to realistically and continuously run a successful investing business? What steps should people take that probably most don't?
Well, I think that goes back to the plan, creating a plan, sticking with the plan. And the first thing everybody needs to do, it doesn't matter, again, age groups, it doesn't matter where income levels you're on, is identify who you are as an investor, as a trader, what time frame you're going to be dealing with, because everything changes if you don't have the identity situation figured out first. Then you need to find out what makes the market move. Then you look at why you're looking at the stock. You always have to have a plan as to why you're buying a stock. When are you going to sell it? What are the criteria that you're looking at? Are you looking for catalysts? Are you looking for a story? Are you looking for valuation? The why you bought the stock. And lastly, the risk management. Obviously, you have to be very disciplined. If the idea doesn't work out, if something changes, you do not get married to the stock. You don't get married to the idea. Spit it out, look for another idea, and look for another opportunity.
Okay, that's excellent. Mario, you just went through your process and what a new client or one of your coaching clients should. Jordan, tell us a little bit about your step-by-step system.
Right, well, it's going to depend a little bit on the individual. I can help them my way. Frankly, at T3, we can help them all different ways, whether they're the shortest, most tactical trader or they're a little longer term. But what I'm going to really do is blend the value, growth, and momentum styles and show them what the value guy looks for, what the momentum guy looks for, what the growth guy looks for. And we have shown over 25 years with all the different work, with all the funds I've been involved with, if you can actually find that security where all the money managers are all pointing their gun and blowing that balloon up fast, if you will, like we all know that arcade game, I will basically show you everything that I do, but then I'm going to challenge you to come up with your own plan, take the best part of what I do, maybe take the best part of what Mario does, the best part of what Laz and Sterling and everybody else here. We all have our own plans. We will help you create the plans. Ours, clearly, 6 months ago we talked about bringing magnet fundamentals to T3. We couldn't quite figure out how we were going to blend them. We now know, and we can't wait to get the class started.
Actually, I want to throw a question right back at you, Jordan. Maybe both of you can take a part of this. There's a lot of softwares out there now for the lazier person where they just plug it in and don't really understand what they're doing. What would you say to somebody who thinks that they're going to be successful by just typing in a stock, it spits out a number or arrows or whatever it happens to be, versus actually learning where the numbers are coming from and what to do with them?
Right.
I'll throw that at you first.
Well, let me try it in a kind of funny way. I have a friend who sells medical instrument tools to surgeons, and I can actually buy a set of tools from him. I wouldn't want to go in and do that surgery myself. The interesting part, because of my background, I actually am getting complimentary services from probably 4 or 5 of the top software companies out there. I'm friends with all these guys. The key is there are nuances to all of them. You have to get familiar with them. I think I use a lot of them because I think the blending those tools helps me blend value, growth, and momentum. But you know that expression, a little bit of knowledge can be a dangerous thing. I'll say it again. Trading and investing is difficult work. You have to really, if you're going to focus on this and really try to master it, it's a lot of work, and you need to how to use those tools. I still, by the way, can't fix a tire.
Mario, what would you say are the most common mistakes people encounter while they're trying to do it on their own without a coach or somebody to talk to about it?
I think the biggest mistake continues to be relying on themselves and on something that they feel is going to be an easy way to get to the money game, to making money. And I think if they don't actually do that, if they don't actually build a process and go through a system that actually has proven itself to work in the past by experienced people, they're not going to be able to skip steps and learn their way out of those mistakes.
But during the upcoming seminar, is part of what you guys do actually walk your clients through assessing their resources so they could come up with what's realistic goals for them as opposed to the pie in the sky, what they saw one person do on television? Is that a part of the seminar, actually walking them through, this is where you're starting, this is what you're bringing to the table, let's be realistic about where you're starting so that you continue on the road?
Right. Well, if I could take that, Pete, what I'll say is this. We're going to not only give them a great introduction to get going, but as you said, this is an ongoing process. What we're going to make available introductory here is to share all the different things that are available. And I will tell you, one of the things that happens to be available is the desk right next to mine. Someone who really wants to come down that rabbit hole with me, someone who really wants to learn what we're doing, are going to come all the way, not only take the coaching, the personal coaching, but actually get deeply involved. And we're holding a desk right next to mine here at the T3 office for someone who wants to go all the way there.
I know what we introduced with the Active Investor Program, it's not just training. That's very, very important. The seminar is the first part.
Right.
But after that, there's coaching follow-up on the training and then ultimately mentoring as you go deeper, in your words, into the rabbit hole. Now, I want to throw this at both of you, and Jordan, if you can answer it first. There's a lot of other stuff out there that might appear similar. What makes your program different?
Right. Well, real clearly, you know, that the fact is I can't take the credit for inventing value or growth or momentum investing. I think what makes mine unique is the lack of ego and the amount of hours and dedication that I've spent on airplanes going to see William O'Neill, sitting down with Jimmy Rogers still, using Michael Steinhardt as my personal coach, and actually taking all of these things, and I can't tell you it's not 10,000 hours, it's not even 100,000 hours, it goes beyond there. It's become a passion of mine. It's a unique blend of value, growth, and momentum with the ego completely thrown out the door.
How about you, Murray?
I think in my experience as well, I mean, 12 years of talking every single day to institutional investors, either mutual funds or hedge funds, talking about what they're thinking about in terms of the markets, in terms of understanding what they're looking for in terms of the criterias, what they're looking for in stocks, in terms of valuation. All of that experience I'm going to be able to bring on a daily basis practically through T3 to the people who actually sign up for our programs. I always say as well that the business we're in is basically, there's a science attached to it, which is all the tools that we were talking about before, but it is an art form. And the art is where the money is made. You need to understand the tools, the science, the math behind all these concepts. But at the end of the day, it's you who make the decision. It's you who pulls the trigger, and that's what we're here to actually help you make those good decisions for you.
Okay, so today was a great introduction into you guys, what you do, why somebody should, in our opinion, attend the upcoming seminar. Why would somebody who's watching this video or contemplating coming to the seminar, why should they believe they can do it? It's great that you can. Why should they believe that you guys can help them achieve what they want to achieve?
Well, you know, Pete, here's the thing. I'm not sure we can help everyone. It's a matter of what they put in. First night's complimentary. It's on us. It's in our beautiful downtown office overlooking the Statue of Liberty. I know we're going to be serving hors d'oeuvres and some beverages. It's you to challenge yourself. Do you have what it takes? Are you willing to go the extra mile? And the fact is, I'm not sure I can help everyone. Like, I'm not sure everyone can be a great investor. I certainly know we can bring them up levels. We're not saying they can solo, but I guess with the work, the persistence, and the digging of knowledge, I'm sure we can be a significant help.
Absolutely, and I think we can actually bring a lot to the table for everybody on the first couple of seminars, and then the follow-through that we're going to be doing going forward, basically on a daily basis. I mean, you have access to us. I would recommend one thing that you guys, that everybody who's listening to us right now can do. Send us an email with what was your last stock decision that you made, and just give us a little description as to why you made that decision, so that we can understand where you're coming from, and that will give you an idea or initiation of an idea of where you are right now with your investment decisions.
Okay, great, guys. Now, again, something that I'm a very big believer in is I'm a big believer in you are who you associate with. And as Jordan said, everybody might not have the skill to become a Michael Jordan or at that extreme level where you might see somebody in an infomercial. But if you bring the desire, you honestly start from where you are as opposed to somewhere you're not, and you get the right education and coaching, there's a lot that we can do together. Nobody can make promises, but you do want to be associated with people who have been down the road before you, and you want to walk along the road and meet them down the road. So we're really, really looking forward to seeing you at the upcoming seminar and ultimately asking a little bit more specific questions about how to get involved in the coaching programs. So thanks for your time, guys.